It is challenged.
It's been challenged, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do we know if there'll be a result? I don't want to be on camera, mate.
Well, you are in a conversation. No, he's with them.
No.
Have a good day. Hello.
It is a hearing, it is an application for judicial review of the proscription of Palestine Action.
Aha, right. And that was in court
76.
76.
On the third floor of the East Wing.
Aha, right. And were you in the court itself or the
Yes.
overflow?
Well, the overflow, yes.
Right.
And we were watching on screen the court itself. In the court itself, there were three barristers arguing for Palestine Action. One of them was somebody I've never heard of called Mr. Hussain. And then the wonderful Irish barrister who argued in South Africa's hearing case for genocide at the
What was his
international Blinne. It's a woman, a wonderful Irish woman. I don't know how you pronounce it. Blinne is her first name, and I can't. I got it on my mobile, but I can't remember the surname. But you know, she's absolutely fantastic. So she's one of the barristers arguing on our side, and as I say, she argued. She was one of the barristers arguing in the International Court of Justice, representing South Africa's application.
Oh, right, yeah.
The judge, I take it, was the same judge who dealt with the case on the 9th.
Yes, it was.
Yes, Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Did you like the guy?
I did.
Okay.
Well, I was surprised, but of course I could be deceived.
Right.
But I think that he was. I mean, the fact that it's still going on, and he gave the Palestine Action side an extra 10 minutes to talk through all the things that they wanted to say. So he was quite willing to extend the morning session 10 minutes.
That's good. So 1:10.
We came out at 1:10, back at 2:05.
Okay.
Yes. So I was impressed by that. Of course, there were several things which surprised me. One was that, I always thought that Yvette Cooper took the decision to prescribe Palestine Action only after the Bryce Norton spraying of the... And yet, now I find that was not included in the original whatever. They kept using the word assessment.
I think they decided back in March that they were going to prescribe Palestine Action.
On the case of the Elbit attacks, the attacks on the Elbit.
Right.
Now that interests me very much because I have been arguing among my own friends that, well, how come that it was only after Bryce Norton? For 5 years, why did she never think of prescribing them when they were attacked? And I said, in my sort of amateur naive opinion was, because it suited the government not to draw too much attention to the fact that these horrible war factories are dotted around the countryside, the peaceful countryside of Britain.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe they didn't want to draw attention to the fact, although they were well aware of what was going on at the Elbit factories. But anyway, now it turns out apparently that it's nothing to do with the Bryce Norton attack, that the prescription excludes that. It predates it, which I don't really understand. And then what also surprised me and made me extremely angry was that the government's case apparently is that it's not just a question of attacking buildings. Palestine Action is not being proscribed because it attacks, it caused damage to property, but principally actually because it's a national security issue. And then it was explained by Chamberlain that it's a national security issue insofar as Elbit Systems manufactures equipment which is necessary for the British government to for example, to send weapons to Ukraine. And I thought made me so angry. I said, oh, I see. So the fact that those same weapons are being used to kill thousands of Palestinian babies, that's irrelevant? So is it only because it's a national security issue because those weapons are useful to the British state to support Ukraine for 100 years? You know, so that shocked me, and I don't know how our side can argue against that.
So Chamberlain said that?
Yes.
I am surprised.
That it's a national security issue. You know, we can't just dismiss. We cannot just say, well, it's not very serious because, after all, Palestine Action, all they are doing is attacking buildings or property. They're doing damage to property. And then he said something like, but I don't know whether this was the first time he ever said that because I haven't been at the previous.
Now, what surprises me is that it was not the prosecution that made the point that it's national
maybe
security.
Maybe it did, and he was just passing that on. I don't really know whether the CPS would have had that as their basis. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Now that's quite significant actually, because it indicates that the judge has been nobbled. He's had a briefing from MI5.
Wouldn't surprise me. And of detailed references to judgments all over, not just in this country, but.
How many prosecution barristers were there?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard. I don't know whether they're supposed to be speaking today, but I don't know. I mean, in the court itself, which was shown on the screen, on the video screen, it looked like a very packed, wigged court. You know, there must have been about at least a dozen people with wigs, and of course then we could see Chamberlain in his box, and then
somebody came out and said, "Oh, it's been a stitch-up."
Well, today?
Yes. Yes. So I'm wondering, did it feel like a stitch-up to you?
No, but then I'm quite a novice at this sort of thing. I mean, well, I say I have been to hearings before, but not at this high level. I mean, I've been to hearings of Palestine Action cases in Wolverhampton. I went to, Tony Greenstein, the Elbit 6 that went on for 8 weeks.
Wow, that's a long.
And I mean, there were 6 people, but of course it was trial before the jury, and Tony Greenstein and others wanted very much to represent themselves so that they could talk, but they weren't allowed to address the jury.
Now that's significant.
No, obviously, for obvious reasons, I mean.
Well, hold on. You say for obvious reasons. Well, what reasons?
Because if the defendants had explained that they were doing it in order to
I see. Right. Okay.
stop a greater crime,
Right.
the
yeah.
jury might have been sympathetic
Exactly. Right.
and
yeah,
might
yeah.
have reached a more lenient.
Sure. Yes. We know that 2 other people did exactly the same thing. Just
Was
in the
Hawes
last
one
week.
of them? Hawes,
Yes.
a gentleman called
Yes.
Hawes, disabled at the moment. Yes,
Uh-huh.
I saw it on the Crispin Flintoff.
Right. And the other one, it was Gordon Dimmock.
Right, and I don't know about Gordon, but apparently Hawes went several times. And he said, arrest me, and they said, go away.
And the same thing happened to Gordon Dimmock.
Right,
But he felt impelled. He has to do something personal.
grand.
Yeah.